Welcome to the topic on CAIA ethical principles. This topic is composed of two readings. The first one on professionalism and fiduciary responsibility talks essentially about that concept, the investment industry, and the whole notion of investment professionals exhibiting and practicing professionalism and having fiduciary responsibilities. And the second one, called ethics, is a reading that presents 8 principles, ethical principles that the CAIA Association developed, which basically define expectations of CAIA members and candidates with respect to ethical and professional behavior. So we begin with the first reading. So in this reading, we first start out by just talking about the investment industry, the purpose of the industry, the participants in the industry. We talk about how value is created in the investment industry. And for investment professionals, we talk about the whole concept of professionalism and fiduciary responsibility and the purpose of these. And in that context, also, we talk about the notion of investment professionals having a client-first mindset when it comes to creating value for their clients. So there's 3 main entities that make up the ecosystem of the investment industry, and these are basically entities that interact with one another. So the first set of entities are the participants. So these are the key components and resources of the industry. They include institutions and agents. So the asset owners, for example, and asset managers, all the intermediaries like brokers and investment banks, all the service providers, outside service providers, like auditors, etc., and of course, end savers. And then we have technologies. So these are what they term as factors in getting things done. They have an odd way of saying some things sometimes, but these are basically derived from functions like governance and regulation, investment theory, etc., and then they're basically implemented in different strategies. And the last one is just markets. Of course, markets, both for securities, but also for services and talent. So that's the ecosystem. And then with respect to the purpose of the industry, we cite 4 purposes of the industry that do overlap. So the first is the fundamental purpose, which is the idea that you want to contribute to society by increases in societal wealth and also well-being. So we often think of just wealth as our goal, but this here is saying fundamental purpose involves well-being. Well-being meaning things like, addressing inequality or dealing with climate change, these sort of things. All right. So when venture capitalists are looking to make an investment, obviously they have to, assess whether the company is going to fit their strategy, right? If they're focused on a particular sector or region or whatever, they have to, assess that. And one of the ways that they do that is by looking at the business plan of the entrepreneur. Then some characteristics about the business plan. So obviously the business plan needs to be really clear, so it's easy to understand. It needs to be comprehensive, including everything, and internally consistent, which just basically means that things are consistent across the different components of the business plan. If you say you're producing one product and then distribution, we have the same product, etc. And then you can sort of think of the goal or the objective of the business plan as being two. One is to basically provide information so that the company can get financing. And the other is it basically provides an exit plan. To provide follow-on financing for their investments.